It feels a little bit like a curse, I think, of driven people to have high expectations. How can people who are always very hard on themselves learn to build up their self-esteem a little bit more?
I don't know if self-esteem is the answer. I think I don't think it's bad to be hard on yourself, as long as you also celebrate when the victories happen. But so many people will tell you, I have poor self-esteem because when I was a kid, people said this to me and that to me. It's convenient that we remember those things and not the positive things that also occur, obviously. But I think it's more important is to realize that self-esteem is earned. It's only earned by you with yourself. You're not going to get self-esteem because everybody praises you. Someone can tell you your whole life that you're brilliant, you're a genius, you're beautiful, you're handsome, and you not believe it. You care about more than you. You won't be thinking about yourself all the time, and all your bullshit self-esteem shit just goes out the window. I mean, it's just, when I hear it, it's just so mamby-pamby BS. You can have crappy self-esteem and achieve a hell of a lot. Now, the real question is, what do you want? And I think if you want an extraordinary life, which my definition of that is life on your terms. Like, what's my idea? It might be different than yours completely. Some people, it's 3 beautiful children, a white picket fence. Some people, it's building a multi-billion-dollar business. Somebody else, it's writing poetry, right? So instead of looking for somebody else, it's like, okay, what do you really want from your life? And aligning yourself with moving forward towards what you really want. And I think if you can do that in a way that also you feel serving others simultaneously, there's a sense of meaning in life that can't be replaced by self-esteem or praise or compliments or being nice to yourself. And I don't think it's bad to be tough on yourself. And earlier in the day, I got a phone call from a friend of mine who said, the boss, Bruce Springsteen, he was the biggest star in the world in those days. I loved him. And he's 4 blocks from you. He's at the Atlanta Stadium there where the Hawks play. You just finish early and come over and you got to take it in. It was Christmas time. He said, it's going to be incredible. So I was so hard on myself. But eventually you wake up and saying, it's good to be strong with yourself. But beating yourself up just lowers your energy. And when your energy gets lower, you produce less, right? You don't have the same level of joy. You don't have the impact that you want to have, nor do you have the excitement that you really want to have. So I look at it as something that it's worth earning your own self-esteem. But it's really not the secret. The secret is find something else you obsess about more than yourself, and you'll have a level of energy that will compel you over the long term.
It's that tension, this interesting tension between balancing ambition and gratitude.
Yes.
And, this fear that, well, if I pat myself on the back too much,
right,
what if that stops the drive? It's coming from this place of fear, this fear of not being enough, this fear of failure. Yeah. I'm going to continue to disprove it. And I don't want to let up because that's the only fuel that I know.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be 65 in a few weeks, so I have a little perspective on this. It doesn't mean it's the right perspective. But I think when I began with a fuel, which was like, I'm going to show them, I had 4 fathers growing up, pretty rough background. My mom was a very intense character. A huge part of who I am, I owe to her because she challenged me so strongly. I became a practical psychologist to deal with things. Really loving woman, but when she mixed alcohol with prescription drugs, she was very violent. And I had to protect my younger brother, younger sister. And it's like having a knowingness that things are going to be fine. And then there's the next level, which is you start to know who you are and you're not trying to prove it to yourself or other people. And you just want to help. You just want to do things. And so now it's the difference between what I would call push motivation and pull, right? Push is, I'm going to make this happen. And it takes tremendous willpower. And I know you have plenty of willpower. I do as well. There's a limit to willpower. But there's no limit to pull. Pull is when there's something magnificent that you want to serve, something that you've got an obsession for to create or to do or make happen. And that you don't lose that energy. You don't lose those components, and you're able to laugh and enjoy along the way, as opposed to, oh, my God, if I don't keep doing